David Bartholomeusz here from Griffin Alliance DJs. If you're wondering if there's a limit to the amount of music that you can request, well, there is no limit to the amount of music that you can request for an event. But the thing to keep in mind is there is a limit to the amount of music that we can play. So the amount of music we can play is constrained by the length of time of your event and also the amount of speeches and formalities that go on during that event. So to give you a bit of a general example, if you've got an event that's running for 5 hours, it's usually going to have about 1 hour of formalities as an average. At an event like this, we'll usually end up playing around about 35 mood songs, so songs which are kind of setting the atmosphere for the night and getting people in the mood, and then about 25 dancing songs. So in the absence of any other information, that's the sort of thing to be thinking of is, 25 songs to dance to and then 35 songs that we're warming up with. Now, I wanted to get a little bit more specific and dig down a little bit into the ins and outs of exactly how this works. So the first thing, if you want to really understand the way that we think about it, 15 songs an hour, that's kind of our baseline. That's where we're working in terms of if we're not doing anything else, if there's no other formalities or anything else going on in that hour, we're going to be playing about 15 songs in that hour. Now the second thing is speeches can run from 30 minutes to 2 hours. I've seen all sorts of variations. I've seen speeches over in 25 minutes, everyone's done, everyone said what they need to say. All the formalities are done all in one batch, there's nothing else, it's just all done in 25 minutes. At other events we'll see formalities at the start, announcements, welcomes, all that sort of stuff, and then we'll see another lot of speeches, and then some other stuff will happen, and then we'll see another lot of speeches, and then people are like, oh wow, that was a lot of speeches. And then in the last half an hour of the night, people are getting on the mic and doing things and farewells and all that sort of stuff. And so all of that can even add up to 2 hours. And so it's something to be aware of. There's nothing wrong with formalities. I mean, that's what makes people come to the event and makes it very specific, is the things that people say when they get on the mic and the things that you do that they might not have seen at another event. So it's not to say that a lot of formalities is bad, but it's something to be aware of is that if you have a lot of formalities, that you might then have less time for the songs. So that's something else to think about. The other thing to think about is that if you're doing things like formal dances, formal entrances, formal exits, all of those things will take between about 5 and 20 minutes. So different things take different amounts of time depending on how you do them, but they all do take time, and it's something to keep in mind. And it's also a reason to be working with us on the running sheet so that we can get a bit of an idea of the volume of formalities that you have. So the other thing to be aware of is, some people say, I want people to be able to dance for 5 hours. Now, if you've got the sort of family and friends that do at every event get up and dance for 5 hours, then by all means tell us. But really do have a think about your family and friends and your guests and how they normally behave at these sort of events. So in our experience, and mine personally, at most events, at the great majority of events, people dance for between 60 and 90 minutes. So that doesn't necessarily mean the dance floor is only going for 60 to 90 minutes, but most people as individuals, they won't dance for longer than about 60 to 90 minutes. So at some events there is maybe 2 or 3 hours of dancing, but it's not the same people dancing at the start as at the end. But also, regardless of the amount of time set aside, people are finite human beings. They don't necessarily dance for a huge amount of time. What is probably more important is the quality of the dancing time that they get, that they're actually dancing to songs that they feel fully engaged with and are having a really intense and fun time when they do dance, and that the dancing time isn't necessarily super duper long with the dance floor dribbing and drabbing. One thing that I really like to do is create, after the wedding dance, a really strong dance floor right at that time where everyone is around the bridal couple, or it's the same thing after speeches at a corporate event. When the speeches first finish, that really strong dance floor, that's the thing that people will remember in terms of the dancing. But also we want to be able to have a situation where people can hive off and have a conversation or catch up with that person they haven't seen for a long time. So we aren't necessarily trying to get every single person onto the dance floor for the whole of the night. We really want to create a balance for you where people are having an excellent dancing experience, but they also get to enjoy all the other experiences that are going on and available for them through the event. So I hope that gives you some information. You can request as much music as you like, but do be conscious of, if you supply us with 400 songs, we are going to be able to play them all. And also, if you provide us with just the songs which are your super duper favourites, that really allows us to make sure we do play every single song that really is close to your heart and you want to hear. I hope that's helpful. This is David Bartholomeusz from Griffin Alliance. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it.